Okay, friends, so I'm struggling a little bit with my colors for what's left. So forgive my voice. I don't know why I'm so scratchy, but it is what it is. Anyways, we are gonna start on the perfume bottle. I am gonna make pinks, and I am possibly gonna incorporate a little bit of just cream, maybe. I think we're gonna do some the dusty pinks in the bottle mostly. Maybe a little bit of, like I said, cream, and I think we are gonna incorporate some gold embellishment on the page, on the bottle, and then possibly also on the bugs and the little dots around. So we'll be doing that in a little bit, but yeah, like I said, I've gotten this far and that was relatively easy, but now I'm struggling with the remaining elements here, and I'm thinking we're gonna go with the blood orange to reddish colors for the bugs. Gosh, I'll probably edit a lot of my thinking out of this, but I'm struggling a little bit, you guys. The dusty pinks in the Prismas, and they were the Clay Rose PC 1017, the Pink Rose PC 1018, and then the Deco Pink, which is PC 1014. And they're going to be the biggest part of the segments here. I'm just going to go on the outside and I'm going to leave some negative space here, possibly to moosh in a little bit of cream. Maybe. We'll see as we go, but I'm going to start with my darkest color here, and we're going to go from there. And I'm just going to go on the outside here. By the lines. Of the segments. Sorry that this is getting out to you. The end of this, the second half, is getting out to you in September. Struggling a little bit with my neck, or a lot of it. But I did tell you that it would be out the first week of September, and I should be able to get this finished today and out to you guys today. And today is the 3rd of September. So my ultimate goal always is to get it out in at least one color along out per month, and I'm sorry I failed. It's kind of hard with neck pain coloring, especially when the neck pain causes numbness and pain in my arms and hands. So I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm going to get it fixed, so it'll be fine, but yeah, so I can't believe it's September though. It's crazy. going to go in with the clay rose on this little tiny bit here. Okay. And then underneath here as well. Actually, let me sharpen my pencil really quickly. Underneath the little pattern here on these as well. There we go. And here. Okay. Now that might not be all the pink, but that's it for this moment. And then I'm also going to, sorry for the barking if you can hear that. I am going to use the pinks on the column here. Column, I don't know, whatever this is called. A little bit of Deco Pink right there in the center. Okay, and so then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the blood orange, I think. A little scared about this, you guys, but here we go. We'll start in these bigger circles here. I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you guys the colors of the pencils. Scarlet Lake, PC 923. Poppy Red. Poppy Red. I don't know what the numbers rubbed off, sorry. 9 something. And Pale Vermilion, PC 921. And I'm using the Poppy Red right now. I did use the Scarlet Lake first. And I am going to go back in with the Scarlet Lake to deepen up the edges up there. And then I'm going to use my Pale Vermilion. Now I am going to go back in and smoosh a little bit better in a minute. I'm just kind of being cautious if I have to erase or something. Going back in with the Scarlet Lake, or yeah. And then the pale vermilion. Okay. And I'm going to do these and then the insides of these as well. Okay, so I filled in those, and then we're going to take our SG32, which is the shiny Languo 1mm gel pens in orange. Like I said, SG32, which is what we used in the middle of these guys. And I'm going to do the tiny little bumps in the pattern here. Okay, and then we are going to take the SG21 in the same set and go in and do the tiny ones, the teardrops next to them that I didn't do. Not the big ones. Okay, and I'm still debating on what to do here, guys, but the rest of the loops and everything are going to be gold, which is in my super golden markers. Unfortunately, they're not numbered or anything, and there are 3 different golds, so you can pick whichever one you think is going to look best. This is the one that I'm choosing, if you can tell what color that is. This one might be running out on me, actually. I have a spare, but let me look here. Hold on. All right, we are going to go in with the pinks on the bottom of the base. Okay. And there is going to be a little bit of black on the bugs. I'm going to have my trusty Gelly Roll Glaze in black, which I bought 5 of recently on Blick because apparently they're going to discontinue the glazes. Just FYI, if anybody loves these like I do, you might want to stock up. I want to buy more, but I don't know how long they will sit and not be dried up when I go to use them. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to use this on their little antennae and their feet, I think. And I'm going to go over the words, the bright summer nights, and then I'm going to do the rope here on the perfume bottle black as well. But I'm not going to do that quite yet. I decided I need to color that first. Let's see. We're going to use the blood orange part of the palette here. Scarlet Lake, sorry. I think I'm going to color that little heart, the pink Languo sparkle pen. This is the poppy red. And then I'm going to use the pale vermilion. Okay, and then, like I said before, I'm going to use the SG21 on the tiny little heart here. Cute. And then I'm going to go in with my glaze pen, and I always twist it off on a scratch piece of paper because it tends to have dried gunk on it, and just make sure it's flowing smoothly if you've not used a glaze pen before. And lightly, dear. You know, we're going to use the pink sparkly Languo instead of the black on the, because it's just going to look like a big blob if I do that. Oops, as I hit the mic. I'm sorry. Okay, and the perfume bottle is done. All right, so now we're going to go into our bugs. Let's see here. Blood orange set, which is the pale vermilion, 921, the Scarlet Lake, 923, and the poppy red, 922. And I'm going to start with the, okay, wait, I am going to use these pencils on the bigger bugs here and down on the bottom where you can't see. But I am going to just use some shiny Languo pins for this tiny itty bitty bug on the leaf. He's going to be the 3 colors that we've already had, which is the 2 pinks, SG01, SG21, and then the orange, which is SG32 in the Languo Shiny 1mm set. Okay, and I am going to, all right, I'm going to start with the glaze on his little legs. Get the gunk off my pen. Come on. There's some wax buildup from the Prisma. There it goes. Darn pin. Okay. Now I'm going to use the orange for his little eyes and that little patch above his head there. And then the bright pink, which is the SG21. I'm not going to use the other one. On his shiny shell. And he's done. Okay. And I'll bring these up. I'll show you the whole page and do this so you can actually see him and not, the glare makes him look a little bit blotchy, but he doesn't look like that in real life. Okay. And now I am going to go zoom into one of the other bugs. Okay. I am going to take the Scarlet Lake on his abdomen, underneath here on the bottom of it. It's going to be dark, so our darkest color. Like so. Actually, we're going to come all the way around. I'm going to ignore his pattern here. And then we're going to go in with the Poppy Red 922. And then the Pale Vermilion 921. Kind of blend it all together here. Okay, and I am going to go in with the Poppy Red on the back of his head here. But then the rest is going to be the Vermilion. Okay, and then I am going to go back in with the black, and actually let me take the Guana Super Golden Marker, the same gold, and I am going to do this highlight on his abdomen. And the spot back here as well on the top of the back here. Okay, and then we're going to grab the glaze. Make sure it doesn't have crud on it, which it does. Okay, and we haven't done the, I'm going to save the wings until last because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there. So just bear with me, guys. I'm going to go in with the salmon pink, the light color that's in the flowers. It'll tie in better with the reds and stuff that we're doing. So I'm going to very lightly go over the wings from the top and not do the bottom of the wing. Does that make sense? Just so there's a little bit of color. Like that. I'm going to do that in all three of their wings, and then we're going to do the butterfly last. Okay, so this is like a peachy white color, almost white in the Languo 0.6 millimeter master edition set that I have. Here is the number. It's FS-605. That's the one I'm using. Okay. And I'm going to do the other two bugs and let that dry, and then we're going to do the butterfly. All right, all. I went ahead and used the black Gelly Roll Glaze on his feet, his antenna, and the back half of his little body and his eyeball. And I need to let that dry just a little bit more and then we'll get started. But I will tell you, we are going to use the blood orange on the butterfly, but I am going to incorporate one of the colors from the orange, which is the salmon pink, as our lightest color. So in order from darkest to lightest, we're going to go Scarlet Lake PC 923, Poppy Red PC 922, Pale Vermilion PC 921, and then Salmon Pink PC 1001. And I am going to put a little bit of sparkle on him, so I'm going to where I'm going to be using the pencils, I'll show you, but we'll do some sparkle on him as well. All right, so I'm going to take the darkest color, which is the Scarlet Lake, and I'm kind of going to ignore some of these designs here. And then the poppy red. And then the pale vermilion. And then I'm going in with the salmon pink. Okay, so I'm going to blend a little bit more with the darker color. Okay. And we're going to go into the other sections as well. Okay, I'm going to take the Scarlet Lake and do some of his body with the poppy red. And take the poppy red just at the top of his head, go into the pale vermilion, into the pink salmon. Okay, now I'm going to take the orange Languo Shiny SG32. Okay, and then I'm actually going to take the black Gelly Roll Glaze and just do a few of these spots here. Okay. All right, let me zoom out. And there it is, folks, all done. I struggled a little bit at the end, you saw. Oh, you know what? It's not all done. Sorry. All the little dots everywhere are going to be the super golden marker. Okay, now it's all done. I stayed pretty true to the color palette. We struggled a little bit, at least I did. Hopefully you guys didn't. But you know what? This is a really good learning experience to do this once in a while and really push yourself to create things that you wouldn't normally do. It turned out okay. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, please leave a like. And go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. If you have, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Actually, before we go, I don't know if this butterfly is dry, so hold on a second. I'm gonna very strangely get to the next page. Our next color along, which we'll be starting this month, is this one. And I did show that in my plans video. But yeah, this will be our first fall autumn page. So excited to get that going. I don't have a color palette or anything in mind yet, but yeah. So take care of yourselves and your family and friends, and I will see you in the next video.